don't know much about running a laundrette, outside of what I've seen Doc Cotton doing on EastEnders, but arcades on the other hand, I know quite a bit about arcades. I've got quite a fond memory from the late 80s of going to the arcade straight after school, just putting in my 10p's into the Rampage machine and just playing away and losing track of time. Then an hour later, I was dragged out by my mum kicking and screaming. This was a great memory. For my mum, probably not so much. But now, I get to live my best life in arcade paradise. Enter the virtual realm in Arcade Paradise VR, transporting you back to 1993 for an all-new immersive experience oozing with retro-fueled gaming nostalgia. Taking you on an empowering journey from rags to riches, Arcade Paradise is an adventure and light management sim combo game where you transform the decrepit King Wash laundromat into a thriving business. Set in the rundown town of Grindstone, you play as Ashley, a rebel teenager going against your father's wishes to continue the family business. Get hands-on with managing the fully gamified day-to-day tasks from manually picking up gum, doing the laundry and scrubbing the toilet perfectly clean, to throwing out trash in a basketball-style minigame. Then take your hard-earned money from completing these tasks to unlock your real objective, buying more arcade units. Game features 12 fully realised VR cabinets alongside 27 traditionally controlled games from the original release. It's time to play, profit and purchase your way to your very own Arcade Paradise. I always like to start out by discussing the graphics on a game. For a lot of people this can be the major selling point. How good does it look in the headset? Well, I'm pleased to report that Arcade Paradise looks pretty good in the headset. As far as I'm aware, it's running at a native 90 frames per second, so there's no reprojection and everything looks nice and clear. There's a little bit of a soft edge in places, but it looks really good in the headset. I've got no complaints in the visual aesthetic of this game. So what are you doing in Arcade Paradise VR? Well, simply, it does exactly what it says on the tin. You're doing the day-to-day running of a laundrette, and your entire goal is to earn money to buy more arcade machines for the back room, and then you can expand the business. You can grow it, get extensions, and get more and more cabinets built into your arcade. Of course, the menial task of doing laundry has been gamified, and I actually found this quite an enjoyable gameplay loop, and you really do get into the swing of things and you try to build up speed. So you take the basket of washing, you take it to a washing machine. It's either lights, colours or darks. You put it in the machine, select the program, press start. And then when it's washed, you take that across to the dryer. And then there's 3 programs on the dryer dictated by the colour of the basket. So it's really quite easy. And once you get into it, you're filling up all the machines and you're actually earning quite a bit of money from doing the laundrette activities. Of course, you can just dive straight in and start doing the arcade management and setting up your machines and earning money from doing the arcade stuff. But if you really want to progress at a better speed, you do have to multitask. So you are filling up all the machines, then you're going to play with some of the arcade machines for a while, and then you could just finish off the laundry and earning cash. So you can be earning cash from the arcade and the laundry at the same time. It means you can just buy more things and progress quicker into the game. But it's a really long campaign. I've put in over 23 hours at the time of this review, and I think that's a staggering amount of time for the game, and I've still not seen everything. I have rolled the credits, but there's still more I want to go into that game, and if you're looking for value for money, then you can't get better than this for the price it is. I really did enjoy the story of Arcade Paradise. It's presented to you through voice messages from your father, talking about the business, and of course you're lying to him about what you're doing to the business. He thinks you're running the laundrette, but really you're expanding the Arcade Paradise in the back. And then you're also going onto the computer, having chat messages with your sister, and your sister's helping you to do all the expansions. The story actually took an unexpected twist towards the end, which I'm not going to spoil, and I actually really enjoyed that twist. It was just a good storytelling piece. But it is a backdrop for the game. Most of the time you are doing the task and you are playing the video games. But as you expand, the story just really develops with it. And it does make it feel like a nice universe and a nice story to be part of. The game offers 2 main currencies. Everything you do in the laundrette, or the money you collect from your arcade machines, that is all in dollars. The dollars are then used to buy more arcade machines or the expansions for the business. Then, once you get to a certain point in the story, Your sister offers to give you some inheritance money by completing daily to-do list tasks. This is accessed on your PDA, and there's 3 tasks each day. By completing this, you earn pounds. Those pounds can then be used to purchase upgrades. These upgrades are actually really vital to how the game plays. The most important one is a beginner's guide on time and space mechanics, which slows down the passage of time. So you've got more time spent playing the games than doing the laundry as well. Your time's not advancing so quickly. And then you could also buy with the pounds like a car, so you can get there quicker and open later, and other upgrades, including people who empty the hoppers for you, or a safe which is quicker to use. These all add to the game experience, and it's 2 different ways to expand. The sound design for Arcade Paradise really is fantastic. From the ambient sound of being inside the arcade, which I'm pretty sure is being recorded from a real arcade, and I swear down, but in the background I can hear bubble bubble music playing, and it just really gets that pang of nostalgia. Then each of the machines also have their individual sounds and music, what's all involved in that. Then you have the jukebox. In the jukebox, once you've bought that, you can then select music to play. This is actually one of my biggest earners in my arcade, and I can actually set this on the highest value. But the soundtrack here is a good mix of all the music what was popular in the 90s. So you've got that kind of rock sound, that chill sound, you've got dance music, happy hardcores even mixed in there. It really is great just relaxing and listening to some of these banging tracks. And then also with your pounds, you can actually buy more unlockable tracks for the jukebox later on. I do have to point out, but this game has a fair share of bugs in the game. It is literally a bug hunt. Even when I first started the game, just on the first machine, you can see my hand got stuck, and then the door was stuck open. This has got a fair level of jank in the game. Throughout most of my gameplay, it didn't really bother me. Your hands do get caught on objects. You can see the washing machine even starts here without the door being closed properly. You kind of get over that, and throughout my gameplay it wasn't really bothering me. It was more of a bit of annoyance, but then as you go along I did discover more and more things what was, really kind of become less of an annoyance and more of a hindrance to how you play. Most of the time the jank is just your hands getting stuck on objects. I also came across a bug where trash would spawn inside an object, like the pot plant here. You just couldn't grab it. No matter what I did, what angle I went at, I could not grab it. And then there was some gum stuck to a chair and it would not let me pick it up. Thankfully, this resolved itself after a few in-game days and it all despawned and new trash appeared. Doors can be a particular issue. There's a set point when walking towards a door that it automatically opens. But when I've just emptied this machine and I was stood next to the door, it wouldn't open. Then when you put your head into it, the screen flashes several times going to black. I think this is a thing from Sony where if your head interacts with an object, you've got to fade to black. And then I actually had a point where I went into the office and the office was invisible and I was just outside in the ether. But it's same again. I just get on with it. You get used to it and it doesn't really bother you. Objects getting stuck, as you can see here as well, and just in the basket it just got stuck and I couldn't pick it back up until the previous one just despawned, and then I could continue with the game. I also ran into this issue while doing the to-do list. Have 5 dryers dried at once. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Doesn't work. I ain't got 5 dryers. How can I have 5 dryers dried at once? Why would it give me that task? Because I've only got 4 dryers. When I progressed with the game as well with the expansions, I did notice a few other things, like this poster which was misaligned, or when you're doing the laundry, you're throwing the baskets on the side and the actual completion of what rank you've got is obscured by the background. It's just little details like that. Or even the baskets, it was showing the bench below it instead of the bottom of the basket. All these were just the annoyance, really. The worst issue I came across in the game, or the one which I've actually marked it down the most for, is when you reorganise your arcade, the machines become invisible. As you can see here, the 2 machines are completely invisible, and then one is disappearing as I'm walking towards it. You can still collect the cash from these machines, but when you go to click on play, you can't play the machine because the screen is not there, the cabinet is disappeared. Even finishing the day does not resolve this issue. The only way the issue resolves is actually when you close the game down and reload it. Now, I know what you're thinking, that seems like a lot of negatives, but just let me make this clear. I still love this game. Despite all these issues, this is probably one of the best games I've played in a long time, and I was thinking about this game when I wasn't playing it. The games, just when you get lost playing these games, it's fantastic, and the VR specific ones really are well presented and great to play. But even the flat screen games, some of the simplest games, have really got involved in and just spent ages. You do get emails from customers when they beat your score, and then suddenly like, yeah, you set a higher score, but I've just set this score. So you go back to the machine and you play it more, and then you just keep going into this loop and just you get better and better as you go along. At the end of the day, I do absolutely love Arcade Paradise VR. There's just no game what's got me so wrapped up and spent so long trying to get this review out as well. It's just, I wanted to really do it justice. I think this is an absolute must buy for the platform, especially for the nostalgia. In my heart, this game is 10 out of 10, but I need to have my review ahead on and mark it fairly. The issues I've raised, I do hope get patched, because if they get done, then I would happily revisit my score and give it that extra mark. But until that point, I'm still going to be getting back in there. I want to get that platinum trophy, and that's going to be a long, but well worth battle to the end.
Hello there, let's start the game. Keep an eye on your ammo, do your best. Level 1. Ready? Go! Amazing! You're ranking well. Something that we'll never forget.